A relic of the past, mostly visited for nostalgia, but actually a decent spawn. This is the giant spiders of POH. This spawn is located in the Plains of Havoc, southwest of Venor. Most all players remember these giant spiders because they used to get lured far north. In fact, it's so nostalgic that my first video on this channel was covering this spawn. Coming back to the game with little content for Paladins available, I decided to go with the basics I remember from back in the day, and ended up hunting here in that process. In that video, I was hunting with a fire field to block off the pathing of the giant spiders and also using enchanted spears, which is okay to do, but it's not the most efficient way. I believe making the switch to a bow and onyx arrows is far more beneficial if you invest in some imbuements, even if it is just tier 1, although tier 3 is very worth if you can afford it. The main benefits of imbuements is quality of life. The creep will add some extra damage, the mana leech makes it so that you use less potions and use that cap in ammunition instead to make your hunts a bit longer. Life leech is more optional. If you're going all in with tier 3, then get it, but otherwise that is one you can skip for now. At least tier 1 won't make that much impact. Additionally, by using a bow and arrows, your range will be higher and then you can hunt here running and kiting, which improves the hunt a lot. With that said, on that video I was doing around 100k on yellow with a bit of bonus and distance 72. To put the spawn to a proper test, I came back with 3 different characters. The first one level 51 with 70 distance, on which I was using 1 mana leech and 1 crit both tier 1. Instead of luring them to the fire field spot, I was kiting in the open and spreading throughout the spawn. That also includes some extra creatures around, like the wyverns, which you need to be careful with. Keep them at a distance and diagonal to you, because they have a wave that makes you drunk, and unless you have the wyvern ring ready to be equipped, then it can get you killed from the giant spiders. Also, just because I say using the fire fields is not optimal, doesn't mean you shouldn't have any. You can still use them if you prefer. The mistake I was doing back then was of sticking to just one place and luring them there. Also, another mistake was not using my Exoricon spell on every attack turn. This adds up a lot of damage and results in higher XP, which on this character, the experience was of over 130k route the hour, decent enough for a new server. Moving on to the second character, a level 52 with a skills 91, tier 1 crit and tier 3 mana leech, which is just a bit better than having 2 tier 1 mana leech, so again, don't feel forced to have tier 3 imbuements this early on. With this character, the experience went up to around the 155k raw. The overkilling was starting to happen, as I needed to include some extra creatures like tarantulas and wyverns to the right side, but there is plenty of creatures to include into your lab if you wanted to. It just takes some awareness of the respawn rate of the giant spiders so that you don't lose time walking from one side to the other. And speaking of overkilling, which by the way is a term used in Tibia, to when you're killing the creatures faster than they can respawn, and forces you to either wait for respawn or include other spots into the lab. With this next character, level 56, skills 129, tier 1 crit and tier 3 mana leech, the overkilling was a lot worse. At this point, I had to include the dragon cave north of the giant spiders, because otherwise I didn't have enough respawn, which even that wasn't enough to keep up with such a strong character. This can be more dangerous, especially if you include the Dragon Lords on a level 50 Paladin, so be mindful of that. If needed, just do the dragons instead. And if you end up doing the dragons too, then bring an obsidian knife to skin them off for the leaders, which is a nice extra bit of profit. Speaking of profit, this is a pretty good spawn for that. In general, being on a new server or a normal one, it will cover your supplies and more. In the case of new servers, I'm a big fan of doing loot bags from the plate armors and two-handed swords the giant spiders drop. In normal servers, the profit can come from the wyvern talismans and green dragon leathers. Unfortunately, the giant spider silks have become too common, so their value is quite low. Regardless, you shouldn't have a problem covering your waist here. And as for the experience, on this character it was over the 220k raw, but be aware that a low level with high skills is not that common. I'm just trying to give different perspective of what it will look like depending on your skills. And if you're looking for more of that, consider subscribing and checking out this playlist for more spawns. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to the Guild Causality, Night Star and Tuna Hero.